Right, hello lads and lasses, and welcome back to Boys Down Under, where the footballing year for Celtic is done, yet we've ended it with all 3 points with a very impressive victory against St Johnstone. Before we go any further though, please remember to like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. It's the best way to help support the channel grow, and I would be forever indebted to you guys if you did that. But without further ado, let's get into it. So I may seem like an absolute mug right now. In my preview, I said a lot of things that didn't turn out to be. So I said that I would be happy with anyone but Butterfingers Barkas, as I referred to him, in the lineup, in the goalkeeping spot. However, he certainly shut me up. I also said Abada would play, much to everyone's disappointment. Yet again, Abada shut me up. Then I also said there would be no more than 3 goals in the match. Yet again, the 3-1 scoreline shut me up. I thought there would not be a goalkeeping masterclass from St Johnstone due to the absence of Xandar Clark. Yet again, Parrish, I think his name is Parrish. He shut me up in goals. He did very, very well. Look, I got a lot of things wrong, but even there, I got a lot of things wrong. Extremely, extremely wrong. That's the bottom line. But it is what it is. There's a lot more important things to talk about than how I am such a mug and that you should never watch my previews ever again. But nonetheless, a game where straight from the lineup, I had my doubts, but a 3-back really provides Ange with a lot of food for thought. Going forward, we have that extra striker, and it is absolutely crucial when going forward. You could see how much better we were in an attacking sense with 2 strikers up top rather than a front 3. And it provides players with such as Tom Rogic another outlet going forward rather than just Kyogo, who can be marked out of the game by the better quality teams. I must say, however, when distributing out from the back and, playing out from the back, playing out from goal kicks, we certainly lacked quite a bit. I think maybe it was the lack of options, playing 3 players as centre-backs. I think maybe that was the issue. I'm not too sure, but we certainly looked a lot shakier coming out from the back rather than in the opposition's final third. I think it could be also testament to St Johnstone's press. They did very well, but it is what it is. Regardless, let's look at the positives, and that first goal was very, very good. Kyogo's press was absolutely impeccable. Juranovic, a great tackle, then a great ball into Abada, who misses a sitter. Abada missed an absolute sitter. I was fuming. Then somehow he beats 2 defenders who are twice the height of him. He beats a goalkeeper who is not only twice the height of him, but has the ability to use his arms to reach up and claim balls. Ooh. Anyways, and he heads it into the back of the net. I don't know how he gets to it. I don't know what he does there, but he got the ball in the back of the net. That's all that mattered, and Celtic found themselves 1-0 up within the first 10 minutes. We got what we needed. It was an early goal, and I thought from that point on, hopefully it should be a pretty steady match because we were dominating St Johnstone. And then, disappointment occurred with Kyogo going down with his hamstring again. Not heartbreaking, I wouldn't say, because, we have the winter break to heal up and to go through, and for him to go through rehab and build up that hamstring again. Obviously, he wasn't 100% fit, and that's fair enough. We've also got time to bring in new faces and players, which we'll touch on later. However, we kept on dominating St Johnstone, We were pushing for a second and a goal we needed for security. That was the main thing, because St Johnstone always had the possibility of, bagging a very lucky goal and going 1-0. However, it was Tom Rogic and Leo Abada again who linked up very, very nicely, allowing for a 20-minute brace from Abada and a 2-goal lead for Celtic. And we just kept dominating St Johnstone. That first 45 minutes gave me flashbacks to the 45 minutes we had against Dundee United, where we just absolutely dominated them. We didn't give them a shoe-in on goal, a shoe-in on possession. It was mental. And, we could have been 3 or 4-0 up. But if you had told me, Celtic could go into the break before the match with that lineup, 2-0 up, add in Kyogo getting injured, I would have laughed at you. I would have thought that's impossible. But, like I said, 3 or 4 goals in the first half alone, not even for Abada, for the whole team. And look, St Johnstone, halftime rolled around and St Johnstone came out in the second half, and they must have got a kick up the arse from Callum Davidson, who was hanging on to his job with his dear life. But they almost got a Christmas miracle when Chris Kane headed in to half the deficit. It was a spectacular header, took Barkas completely out of the equation. I don't blame Barkas for that. Rather, I blame Carl Starfelt. He had quite a forgettable match, I guess we could say. But, you know, you thought in that moment, there it is, Celtic Football Club in a nutshell. We're going to drop points to last place in the league before a winter break, and it's going to be even worse off than what we started the week in. But thankfully enough, in comes the captain, and who's been putting in a captain shift all game near baton. He was absolutely incredible all night. He restores our 2-goal lead with a great finish to a great piece of work from Tom Rogic, who bagged a second assist, and that was game, set, and match. And look, honestly, who needs Kyogo when we have got the Israeli boys in our team? You know, I thought Abada was absolutely outstanding through the middle. My dad pointed it out to me. He said the reason Abada's doing so well is because he has options either side of him. And I think that's very true. On the wing, he can get very predictable. But down the middle, when he's got an option on the left of him, an option on the right of him, an option behind him, you don't know what he's going to do. And he showed that tonight. And I thought he was very, very good, especially with Tom Rogic behind him and someone like Joey Dawson up there as well. But that was the match. And I guess we could say the Israeli national team 3, St. Johnstone 1. But heading into the winter break, there are some great things we can take away from this match. Firstly, the future is bright. Very, very bright for Celtic. Dawson came on for Kyogo and took some time to find his rhythm, but when he found it, he was on. You know, he isn't the type of striker to beat 3 or 4 defenders. He isn't the type of striker like Kyogo to create movement for himself and create these opportunities. He is a target man. His game revolves around hold-up play, using his strength, using his height to the best of his ability. And he did that phenomenally, I guess, for someone who's making his debut, which congratulations to him for. Someone who's only been at the club only for a year or so. He's never really trained with the first team. He really understood the assignment. He had some great touches. He sent defenders the wrong way with them, created space for himself. He held up possession and was so agonizingly close to a goal. Literally, the ball was on the line. I don't think you can get much closer than that. And it was cleared off the line by St. Johnstone defender. Heartbreaking for young Dawson, but for us and for us fans. But I think that won't matter in the long run. He got a taste of first-team football, and he would be absolutely buzzing. I'm buzzing with his performance. I think that is a great option, a great player to have in the academy, because he's only 18 years old. He's a unit for an 18-year-old. He's really tall, and I think if let Ayeti go, I'd rather have him than Ayeti in the team, I've got to say. But I'm buzzing with that because that's 2 out of 3 players that I've gotten right this year for debuts. I got Owen Moffat right. I knew he was going to debut. I've gotten Joey Dawson right. Now it's time for Toby Oluwayemi to get on that team sheet. I don't really... if you can't tell by the voice or by the cough, I am still very, very sick. However, we push on. And secondly, the second thing I think we need to take out from this match is that the consistency of Tom Rogic could be the deciding factor for the league this year. Week in, week out, he is performing for Celtic and he is the difference maker. 2 assists last night were absolutely crucial to the win. And, you know, it's not only the fact that he's getting assists and getting goals, he's playing full 90 minutes. Something we don't expect from Tom Rogic. He's lowered our standards with his fitness to the fact that he's playing 90 minutes is absolutely shocking. And I say it all the time, but just imagine we let him go to Qatar last year. We would be stuck in the mud. I don't know what we'd do without him, seriously. And that goes the same for Nir Baton. It was rumoured he was going to leave last year as well. What would we do without those 2 players? They have been crucial to Celtic's success this season. Nir Baton, every single time he has came on, he's put in an absolute shift. Every time he's been called upon. He's such a handy player to have in the squad. So experienced as well, just like Tom Rogic. And look, I think it's such... I think Tom Rogic, he is so crucial to our season. We are a shell of ourselves when we don't play with Tom Rogic. And when Tom Rogic, the fact that he's performing on a consistent level week in, week out is so promising to see. Because at the end of the day, if we don't play Tom Rogic, we're not going to be creating many opportunities. We need him in that team. And I don't think anyone else can disagree with me. The Wizard of Oz, there's not much more else to say about him, really. And, you know, it gets on to the topic that we're heading into a winter break. You know, Tom can rest his body because we're going to need him for the back end of the season. We're going to need him fit and firing. And just got to pray he's available on February the 3rd and he doesn't get called up to the Australian team, because to be honest with you, I'd rather see him play for Celtic than the Australian national team. We've got enough players. We don't need him. And to be honest with you, he doesn't really play that well for the national team anyways, because it just doesn't, the play doesn't, it doesn't matter. Anyways, look, at the end of the day, we've got all 3 points and we end the year in style. Now we've got 20 days, a whole 20 days till our next match, which is against Hibs, I believe, at home. You know, we've got 20 days. Bring in the new signings. Bring in Rio Hatate, Daisen Maeda, Yasuki Ideguchi. You know, we can allow for our players, our injured players, to rest up. You know, Kyogo, Jota, Giacomarcus, who actually has a time frame on his return. He should return after the winter break. Julien, Ayedi even, I think he'll go though. But still, we've got so many players who need to return from injury, and this 20 days is crucial for their rehabilitation. You know, all the players who missed out on the match due to COVID, I believe there was quite a number of them. Callum McGregor, Scott Bain, Connor Hazard even. I think all those players were out with COVID. You'd have to say Greg Taylor even, because they were nowhere in the starting lineup. They kind of all got injured. And look, it's a great time for even the coaching staff to get some respite, because it's going to be a manic end to the season. Celtic have still got 3 competitions they're looking to succeed in. You know, we've got the league to win, the most important. We've got the Europa Conference League, very important campaign to have there. And then we've also got the Scottish Cup. So still the possibility for Celtic to win 3 more pieces of silverware this season. Obviously, one is more important than all the others. However, there's still opportunities nonetheless. Look, that is all from me. However, I'm still sick. My throat is going to absolutely die if I keep going on any longer. I have to say, my man of the match had to be the Wizard of Oz. No bias here from an Aussie, but I thought without him, we don't score 3 goals in that match. And look, but that is not to say no one else was superb. I thought Niabaton and Leo Labada were absolutely superb in that match as well. And yeah, leave in the comments below who you thought your man of the match was. And remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. The content will keep on going till the New Year's. So until next time, hail, hail.